February 8th, 2026. Cocktails and candles. The private room Liz rented at the Brookfield Pottery Factory feels like a little Galentine sanctuary. Warm, glowing, and dipped in soft pink. Rose gold string lights drip from the ceiling beams, casting a blush tint over the long wooden tables. Each candle-making station is arranged with curated care. Rounded glass jars, gold-handled tools, tiny pitchers for melting wax, and bowls of dried botanicals. Rose petals, lavender buds, curls of citrus peel. A bar cart gleams in the corner, stocked with mixers, fruit, and bottles that promise a very on-brand level of chaos later. Liz is wearing a soft blush pink sweater with balloon sleeves tucked loosely into high-waisted black jeans. The door opens and Cara steps in first, bundled in a forest green flannel layered over a ribbed tank, joggers, and fuzzy lined clogs. She stops just inside the doorway. "Oh my god, Liz, this is adorable!" Then lifting the tote. "Also, I brought snacks, and backup snacks, and chocolate, and..." Liz points at her like she's been waiting for this moment. "You're a queen. Put the chocolate on the bar cart." Cara grins and does exactly that. A moment later, Rebecca arrives in a cream knit sweater that slips off one shoulder, dark jeans, and suede ankle boots. "Ooh, this is so cute," she says, drifting toward the bar cart like it's magnetic. "I'm not saying I'm drinking immediately, but I'm also not saying that." Liz laughs. "At least pretend you came for the candles." Rebecca lifts a glass jar from one of the stations. "I came for the Galentine's Day vibes. The candles are just a bonus." Michelle slips in next wearing a turtleneck, wide-leg lounge pants, and minimalistic gold jewelry. "It smells amazing in here," she says, inhaling deeply. "Like a spa, but with alcohol." "Exactly the brand," Liz replies. The door swings open again and Tanya enters, wrapped in a long plush cardigan the color of mulled wine, black leggings, and thick socks tucked into slip-on sneakers. She steps inside and immediately wraps her arms around herself. This room is so cozy. Nicole arrives next in a soft gray sweatshirt, black joggers, hair in a loose ponytail. She pauses in the doorway, taking in the soft pink glow, the blankets, the botanicals, and the bar cart. "Oh, this is adorable," she says, smiling. "I feel like we're on a Pinterest board." Liz throws her hands up. "Thank you! Someone appreciates the vision." Nicole laughs and heads toward the table, already scanning for her perfect seat. Finally, the door opens again, and Christina walks in last, wrapped in an oversized charcoal hoodie, black leggings, and a messy bun that somehow looks intentional. She pauses. "Hey, Liz!" she gestures with both hands. "This place looks like Cupid threw up in here." Liz bursts out laughing. "It's Galentine's! You're supposed to love it!" Christina smirks, stepping fully inside. Yeah, it's cute. I'm just saying, you went all out." She points at the fuzzy socks basket. "Yeah, even got foot warmers. Look at you being thoughtful." Rebecca is the first to stake out a seat. Cara is already at the bar cart, sleeves pushed up, examining the bottles like she's judging a competition. "Okay, who wants something bubbly?" she calls over her shoulder, already reaching for the Prosecco. Michelle drifts over, serene as ever, picking up a coupe glass and inspecting it like she's appreciating the craftsmanship. "Just a splash," she says, though her definition of splash is generous. Christina smirks, strolling in with that loose, off-duty swagger. "Somebody pour me something. I need a little something sweet before we can start melting wax and whatnot." Nicole settles in across from her, tucking one leg under herself. "This is like aggressively perfect," she says. Liz beams, doing a final sweep of the room, adjusting a candle here, a vase there, making sure every detail is exactly how she imagined it. "Good, that's the whole point." Cara settles at a seat next to Michelle and begins unloading her tote like she's setting up a command center. Snacks lined up, water bottles, and emergency chocolate. A woman in her late 30s enters through the side door with clay-dusted jeans, a soft pink apron, and a calm, practiced smile. She carries a tray of small metal pitchers and sets them down with the ease of someone who's done this 100 times. "Hi, ladies," she says warmly. "I'm Marissa. I'll be guiding you through your candle-making journey tonight. Feel free to keep settling in, grab a drink, get cozy." She glances around, counting heads. Christina drops into the empty seat beside Tanya. "Good, 'cause it's cold as hell outside. And this room is given Valentine's Day through a pajama party." Marissa smiles, patient and unbothered, waiting for the energy to settle just enough to begin. She claps her hands lightly. "All right, ladies, welcome to your Galentine's candle-making workshop. We're going to start by melting your wax. Once it's liquid, you'll choose your scents, botanicals, and jars. Don't worry, I'll walk you through everything. She gestures toward the small metal pitchers at each station. Go ahead and place your wax flakes into the pitchers, then we'll get them on the warmers. The girls move into that half-organized, half-chaotic way only a close group can. Cara immediately takes charge of her station, pouring her wax flakes with the precision of someone who has watched too many TikTok tutorials. I'm gonna make mine smell like a forest, she announces to no one in particular. Rebecca, still sipping her Prosecco, pours her wax a little too quickly and a small puff of flakes spills onto the craft paper. Oops, it's fine, it's rustic. Christina eyes her wax pitcher like it's a test she didn't study for. So we just dump this in? She taps the bag of wax flakes with one finger. 'Cause if this thing explode, I'm blaming all of you. Marissa laughs softly. You're safe, I promise. Just pour it in. Christina lifts her hand like she just defused a bomb. Look at that. Professional. Somebody hire me. The girls laugh, the sound warm and overlapping. Marissa moves around the table, helping each one of them place their pitchers onto the small electric warmers. One by one, the wax begins to soften, then melt, turning from translucent flakes into a glossy liquid pool. The wax melts in slow, memorizing swirls. Marissa smiles as she checks each station. Once everything's fully melted, we'll start choosing your scents. That's the fun part. Christina leans back, smirking. Girl, wait till we start mixing smells. Somebody gonna make something that stinks. The girls drift toward the scent table in a loose cluster, drinks in hand, the warm pink light softening everything. Cara reaches the table first, scanning the labels with quiet focus. Pine, cedar, yeah, that's me, she says, uncapping one and nodding. I want mine to smell like a cabin, something calm. Rebecca leans in beside her, already smiling. I'm going floral, something pretty, something that feels like a good hair day. Michelle picks up a bottle of warm cashmere, inhales, and her shoulders drop a little. Oh, that's perfect. Soft without being sweet. Nicole is holding 2 bottles, comparing them like she's trying to make a life decision. I want something clean, something that makes me seem organized. Liz laughs under her breath. We'll all pretend. Christina wanders up last, picks up a bottle labeled Fireside, sniffs it, and immediately pulls back. Nah, no way, she says, shaking her head. That's giving burnt toast. I'm not letting that in my house. The girls laugh, and she reaches for coconut milk next. She uncaps it, leans in, and her expression softens. See, this one's nice, she says, nodding slowly. Smells like I'm on a beach somewhere minding my own business. Sun out, breeze going, nobody bothering me. I could live in this. She sets it down, picks up vanilla bean, and the reaction is immediate. Oh, yeah, that's it, she says, almost to herself. That's like walking into a bakery at 6 a.m. Warm, sweet, not too much. I could burn this every day. Liz nudges her. So you're going cozy. Christina gives her a look. Babe, I'm always going cozy. I'm not trying to make some wild science project smell. I want something I can actually sit with. Something that don't fight me when I walk in the door. Rebecca grins. So, comfort. Exactly, Christina says, pointing at her with her glass. I'm not reinventing nothing. I'm making a candle, not a personality. They start blending, and the room shifting into a quiet, focused hum. Droppers click against glass, wax swirls. Cara counts her drops like she's following a recipe. Rebecca adds a little extra peony just in case. Michelle stirs slowly, watching the wax turn glossy. Christina holds her dropper over her pitcher, steady and deliberate, brows slightly furrowed. Let's do this, she murmurs. Couple drops of the coconut, little bit of the vanilla, don't get crazy. She stirs, leans in, inhales, and her whole face relaxes. Oh yeah, she says, satisfied. That's it. That's the one. If this don't burn nice, I'm taking it personal. The girls laugh, the sound warm and overlapping. Marissa moves from station to station, checking each pitcher. You're all doing great, she says. Once everything's mixed, we'll prep your jars and pour. Once everyone's finished mixing their scents, Marissa steps back into the middle of the room and lets things settle. The warmers keep humming, wax shining in each pitcher, filling the air with that layered, cozy smell. Marissa claps her hands just once. All right, next up, jars. There's a whole bunch of choices. Sizes, shapes, all that. Go for whatever fits the vibe of your scent. She waves at the display. There are round jars, tall straight ones, little cut glass jars that catch the light, some clear, some with a soft frost, and a few with a faint blush tint. The girls wander over, picking up jars, holding them to the light, comparing. Rebecca grabs a rounded frosted jar and presses it to her sweater. "This one's got a romantic thing going on," she says, grinning a little. "It should smell like peonies." Cara's already settled on a sturdy, straight jar. "This looks like it belongs in a cabin," she says. "Sold." Michelle runs her fingertip along the rim of a clear jar with a little ripple in the glass. "Pretty," she says. Then Christina steps up, pitcher still on the warmer behind her, blanket tied around her waist like she forgot about it. She picks up a tiny round jar, turns it in her palm, and shakes her head. "Nah, too tiny. That's like a sample size. I'm not doing all this work for something that burns out in a day." She swaps it for a bigger frosted jar with clean lines and a soft glow. This one. This feels right. Looks like something I'd actually put on my dresser." Marissa grins. "Perfect. Once you've picked, we're ready to pour." The girls shift back to their spots, jars in hand. Marissa circles the table, checking wax temps, making sure everything's lined up. "Okay," she says. "Turn off your warmers. Give the wax one last stir, then pour it slow into your jars. Nice and easy." The room goes quiet, everyone focused. Pitchers tip, wax slides out in glossy streams. Scents rise up. Vanilla, coconut, pine, citrus, flowers. Swirling together in the air, but each candle keeps its own personality. Cara pours like she's diffusing a bomb. Rebecca's steady like she's done this a dozen times. Michelle's careful, jar filling up smooth and perfect. Tanya pauses, then goes for it, the wax settling just right. Christina takes her time, both hands on the pitcher, steady, relaxed, squinting just a little. Slow," she murmurs to herself. "Don't spill. Don't be that person." She pours in one smooth go, the wax landing in the frosted jar like cream. When she's done, she leans back, satisfied. "Look at that," she says, leaning back. "Professional! Somebody put me on payroll." The girls all crack up, their laughter overlapping, easy. Marissa gives the candles a few minutes to settle before coming back around with a small tray of dried botanicals. She sets it down in the center of the table, and the girls instinctively lean in, curious. "Go ahead and decorate the tops if you want," she says. "Just a little. Too much can interfere with the burn." Everyone reaches for something different without even discussing it. Rebecca goes straight for the rose petals, scattering a few across her candle like she's styling a photo shoot. Michelle adds a pinch of lavender, smoothing it gently with her fingertip. Nicole hesitates, then drops a single curl of citrus peel. Tanya leans forward, studying the bowls like she's trying to read their personalities. She pinches a few lavender buds between her fingers, then lets them fall onto her candle in a soft sprinkle. Christina studies the bowls for a long moment, elbow on the table, chin on her hand. She picks up a few rose petals, rolls them between her fingers, and lets them fall onto the surface of her candle. That's cute," she says, nodding to herself. "Not too much. I'm not trying to make it look like a florist exploded." She adds one tiny lavender bud, barely a sprinkle. "There. That's enough. Classy. Grown. I like it." Rebecca smirks. "You're really proud of that, huh?" Christina gives her a slow look, the kind that's all warmth underneath. "Babe, let me have my moment. I made something nice." With the candles cooling on the table, everyone settles back into their seats. Drinks get topped off. Cara opens the snacks she brought and slides them into the middle of the table without ceremony. The whole group shifts into that relaxed, post-activity haze where nobody's in a rush to move. Michelle raises her glass. "2 Galentines," she says. Christina takes a slow sip. "Yo, this was real nice," she says, soft but unmistakable. I didn't know I needed this till we got here." Liz smiles at her, warm and a little proud. "Good, that's why I planned it." Christina nods, eyes drifting to her candle. "Yeah, you did good, babe, for real." "We should get lunch, somewhere close," Cara says, brushing crumbs off her fingers. Nicole perks up. "I could eat." Michelle nods. "Same." Liz glances around the table. "Where were you thinking?" Cara shrugs like the answer is obvious. "Brookfield Social. It's literally 2 minutes down the street. They've got those big sandwiches and the flatbreads. And the fries. Oh my god." Tanya brightens. "I love that place. Their iced tea is so good." Christina shifts in her chair, pulling the blanket tighter around her waist. Yeah. Brookfield Social works," she says. "I'm eating whatever they put in front of me." Tanya snorts. "You always say that, and then you judge the menu for 10 minutes. Christina gives her a lazy side eye. "Yeah, well, I like options. Let me live." Liz looks around the table again. All right, she says, smiling. Brookfield Social it is. Christina stands, stretching her back with a quiet groan. Yo, I'm telling you right now, she says, pointing toward the door. If they got French toast or something stupid like that, I'm ordering it. I don't care what time it is. Cara laughs. Good. We're celebrating. Damn right we are, Christina says, pulling her hood up. It's Galentine's. They gather their things slowly, still talking over each other as they push back their chairs. Jackets get shrugged on, bags get slung over shoulders, and candles are left behind to finish cooling. Cara pulls out her phone. All right, I'm calling an Uber before we all start eating the candle wax, she says, tapping the screen. It'll be here in like 2 minutes. Marissa waves them off with a warm goodbye as they file out into the hallway, still talking over each other. On the way there, Christina murders a comment. Yo, if this driver hits one more pothole, I'm getting out and walking. Brookfield Social. Liz leads them straight to the host stand. Table for 7, she says. The host nods, grabbing menus and weaving them through the dining room to a long table near the windows. They settle in and scan the options, flipping pages, pointing things out quietly. The waitress comes over with a bright smile and a notepad. Hi ladies, happy Galentines. Can I start you off with some drinks? Liz doesn't hesitate. Rum and Coke, please. Michelle glances up from her menu. Vodka cran for me. Rebecca nods. Same. I'll do a vodka cran. Tanya taps the iced tea section with her nail. I'll do a peach iced tea with lemon. Nicole lifts her hand slightly. Strawberry lemonade with a vodka chaser. Cara leans back in her chair. Long Island iced tea, she says. Then the waitress turns to Christina, who's been scanning the cocktail list with the focus of someone reading a contract. She closes the menu with a soft thud. Aight, let me get the campfire old-fashioned, she says. Heavy on the smoke, light on the attitude. Make it taste like I survived something. The waitress laughs, jotting it down. You got it. I'll put these in and be right back. The girls settle again, the energy warm and easy, the promise of good food and better drinks hanging in the air. Menus open again, and the girls skim through the options until the waitress circles back with her notepad ready. Liz closes hers first. I'll do the Mediterranean salad, she says, handing the menu over. Michelle follows. Nashville hot chicken sandwich, please. Tanya taps the ribs section with her nail. Slow-cooked ribs for me. Rebecca doesn't hesitate. Carnita tacos. Nicole lifts her eyes from the burger page. Buffalo blue burger. Cara snaps her menu shut with a grin. Chicken quesadilla. Extra sour cream if you've got it. Aight, let me get the Philly cheesesteak, Christina says. With the onions, with the cheese. Don't play me. Make it messy. I'll deal with it. The waitress laughs as she writes it down. Got it. I'll put these right in for you. The girls settle again, menus collected, the promise of food and drinks hanging comfortably between them. Michelle is the first to break the silence. You know what's crazy? She says, almost laughing at herself. Last year around this time, Liz was running her mouth about that steamy affair rumor between Don and Marnie. Liz groans immediately. Oh my God, Michelle, please. No, but seriously, Michelle continues, smiling. You were so damn dramatic about it. Steamy affair, love hotel office, all that bullshit. And now look at them. You accidentally predicted the future. Cara lets out a low whistle. Yeah, that was wild. You were really committed to that story, too. Rebecca stiffens. She keeps her eyes on her drink, pretending she's not listening. Liz sighs. I wasn't committed. I was bored. And it was Galentine's. I was trying to make you all laugh. You did, Michelle says. Rebecca finally speaks, voice tight. I don't remember that. Liz gives her a look. Oh, come on. You knew what was coming when I said I had something scandalous up my sleeve. Michelle nods. You literally rolled your eyes and said, here we go. Rebecca's jaw tightens. Well, I don't remember every stupid thing from last year. Cara leans back, studying her. You remember. You just don't want to revisit it. Rebecca doesn't answer. Liz softens her tone. It was a rough year. Nobody's judging. I'm judging a little, Cara says. You acted like the rumor was a personal attack on your sister. That was the only moment that allowed you to defend her because she was still recovering. Rebecca exhales sharply. I'm not an idiot, Cara. I've been around this group now long enough to know that Liz is notorious for stirring the pot and making up useless rumors. I didn't want it to be true because it was stupid. Michelle tilts her head. Why? Because it was Marnie who went for Don before you? Rebecca's silence is louder than anything else she could say. It's not about that. It's the fact that she couldn't keep her hands off of him and understand boundaries. I was careful around him. I was waiting for the right moment to confess that he was my crush, but then it all blew up in my face. Michelle rubs her forehead like she's already exhausted by the whole thing. Rebecca, we're not doing this again. You keep circling the same story like it's gonna land different this time. Cara cuts in, sharper. Yeah, you keep saying it blew up in your face like you weren't the one lighting half the fuse. Rebecca opens her mouth, but Michelle lifts a hand. No, seriously. We don't want to hear the whole, I was careful, I was waiting, I was respectful speech. You weren't. Cara leans back, arms crossed. You're acting like she betrayed you. She didn't. You never told her shit. You just assumed everyone was supposed to read your mind and tiptoe around your crush. Rebecca's eyes flick up, defensive, but they don't give her room to jump in. Michelle keeps going. And the rumor? You didn't just accidentally feed it. You were pissed and wanted her to feel it. You can't pretend otherwise. Rebecca's jaw tightens. No, Michelle says, flat. We're not doing the just. We're not doing the excuses. We're telling you how it looked, how it felt, and you can sit with it. Michelle sighs. Look, we're not mad. We're just done pretending you didn't mess this up, and we're not going to babysit the narrative for you. Cara's voice softens, but only a little. You can be upset, fine, but you don't get to rewrite what happened. Rebecca finally murmurs. I just wish that whole night never happened. The rumor, the jokes, all of it. Liz folds her hands onto the table, steady and unblinking. You wish it never happened? Then why the hell do you always show up ready to stir shit and make Marnie jealous? You think one stupid rumor is going to make us change our minds and realize that Marnie's evil? It doesn't work like that, Rebecca. We're not in high school, and in this group we take responsibility and accountability for things we've said, like adults. Rebecca's face tightens, but Liz doesn't give her a second to jump in. You realize you were spitting that same rumor for months, she goes on, voice low but sharp. And then you dragged it into the New Year's Eve party like it was brand new tea. You said Marnie was unstable and using Don as her emotional support animal. You said it like you were doing us a favor. It was like you never learned a damn thing after Cara's birthday party when you got rejected. And then again at the Christmas party when you tried to confront them like you were owed some explanation. Michelle adds, you were blindsided because you weren't paying attention. That's on you. Liz leans forward, elbows on the table. And on top of that, you walked into the NYE party ready to spill this phony information like we were all going to fall for it. Like we were going to gasp and clutch our pearls and take your side. No. You wanted attention, and you got none of it. You're fooling nobody. Cara shakes her head. All you did was prove you can't be happy for your sister. Not even a little. Michelle's voice is quieter, but it hits harder. You weren't protecting yourself. You weren't protecting her. You were just pissed that she got something you wanted. Liz finishes it clean. And you can't keep pretending you were the victim. You weren't. You were the one throwing punches. Rebecca sits there, staring at the table like it might give her a different version of the truth. She drags a hand through her hair, exhales once, and when she speaks again, her voice is lower. You want to know why I'm not supportive? She says. Fine, here it is. Rebecca swallows. It's not because I'm jealous. It's not because I wanted to stir shit. It's because I miss her. Rebecca keeps going, words coming out faster now, like she's finally saying the thing she's been choking on for a year. I miss my sister. I miss when it was just us. I miss when she needed me. And now she gestures vaguely, frustrated. She's getting her life together with him. She's healing with him. She's rebuilding with him. And I'm just standing here, watching. Michelle's expression softens, but she doesn't interrupt. Rebecca shakes her head. I wanted her to come back to me. I wanted us to fix our shit. I wanted us to be sisters again. And instead, she ran straight into someone else's arms. Cara's voice is quieter now, but still blunt. So you punished her for it. Rebecca doesn't deny it. Yeah, I did, because it hurt, and I didn't know what else to do. Liz leans forward. You could have told her that. Rebecca looks down at her hands. I didn't want to lose her, and I did anyway. The table sits in the heavy quiet of Rebecca's confession, the kind that settles right in the chest. Christina pushes her chair back slowly, eyes still on Rebecca like she's trying to make sense of what she just heard. Yeah, nah, she mutters, rubbing her forehead. I gotta step out for a minute. My brain's doing gymnastics trying to process all this shit. Tanya looks up at her, concerned but calm. Christina jerks her chin toward the door. Come on, T, she says, voice low. I need a joint before my mouth starts saying something my job can't recover from. Tanya nods, grabs her coat, and follows her out without a word. The door swings shut behind them. Nicole stays seated, hands folded on her lap, eyes flickering between the remaining 4 women. Rebecca sits back slowly, still catching her breath from the outburst. Nicole shifts in her seat but stays quiet. Liz takes a sip of her drink, unfazed. All right, so that's the truth. Fine. Cara nods once. Yeah, makes more sense than the bullshit you were feeding us. Rebecca rubs her face. I wasn't feeding you bullshit. I just didn't want to say it out loud. Michelle leans forward slightly. You could have. We would have listened. Rebecca huffs. Would you? Because every time I try to talk about her, one of you shut me down. Cara taps her fingers on the table. Look, nobody's saying you can't miss your sister, but you can't punish her for trying to get her shit together. Rebecca murders. I wasn't punishing her. Michelle gives her a look. Come on. Rebecca sighs. Fine. Maybe I was. A little. Liz snorts. A little? Rebecca shoots her a glare. Don't push it. Nicole finally speaks, quiet but steady. You know, wanting time with her isn't wrong, but the way you went about it, that's what hurt. Rebecca's shoulders drop. I know. Cara shrugs. Then fix it, when she's ready, not on your timeline. Rebecca nods once, small but real. Yeah, I know. Cara takes a breath, sits forward, and shifts the energy without making it weird. So, aside from all this, she says, steady and direct. Rebecca, I'm planning on throwing another party before the end of the month. Would you be uncomfortable if I invited Don and Marnie? Rebecca looks up, surprised by the pivot. Cara keeps going. I'd really like to have them there, but I wanted to be respectful and ask you first. Do I have to worry you're going to start drama with them, or do you think you can keep it respectful for one night and just forget everything that happened? Rebecca exhales slowly. It's fine. Cara raises a brow. Fine as in... As in, Rebecca says, choosing her words carefully. I'm not going to start anything. I'm not doing that again. Michelle nods, waiting. Rebecca continues. If Marnie doesn't try to start shit with me, we'll be fine. I'll talk to her ahead of time. Try to, I don't know, form some kind of truce so we don't ruin your night. And Don? Cara asks. Rebecca sighs. I already apologized to him. I told him I'd be respectful. And I meant it. I'm trying to accept them together. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying. Nicole glares at her, quiet but supportive. Cara leans back. All right, that's all I needed to hear. Rebecca nods once, more grounded than she's been all afternoon. The door swings open again, and Christina comes back in with Tanya right behind her. Christina's cheeks are a little pink from the cold, eyes a little glassy, and she's grinning like she just reset her whole nervous system. She drops into the chair and announces, loud enough for half the restaurant to hear. Jeeezus Chraist! I am high as fuck right now! Tanya's smirking, trying not to laugh as she sits down beside her. Cara snorts. Liz just shakes her head. Michelle hides a smile behind her glass. Nicole stays quiet, but her eyebrows go up. Michelle blinks at Christina, caught off guard. You good? Christina waves a hand, leaning back in her chair. Yeah, I'm fine. She exhales dramatically, needed a little break from the emotional Olympics yous all were running in here. Tanya nudges her. You good now? Oh, I'm fantastic, she says, stretching her arms. I could eat a whole damn cow.